Welcome to Money Basics, your guide to understanding personal finance. I am Alex Carter, and this is episode 1 of a 5-part series. Over these 4 segments, we will build a solid financial foundation together. Today, we start with the most fundamental question in all of finance. That question is, what exactly is money and why does it have value? Money is anything a community agrees to use as a medium of exchange. The key word is agreement. Money only works because people trust it. Before money existed, people traded goods and services directly with each other. This system was called barter, and it had one fundamental flaw. Barter requires what economists call a double coincidence of wants. Imagine you grow wheat, but you need shoes. You must find someone who has shoes and also wants your wheat. In a large economy, finding this perfect match is extremely difficult. Barter worked in tiny villages, but it breaks down at scale. This limitation led humans to seek a better solution. The first commodities used as money were things everyone needed. Salt, cattle, grain, and shells all served as early forms of money. These are called commodity money because they have intrinsic value. Around 3,000 years ago, metal coins appeared in ancient Lydia. Lydia is in what we now call Western Turkey. These coins were stamped with a consistent weight and purity guarantee. The material was electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver. Coins were a major leap forward because they were portable and durable. They also had a standardized value that everyone could verify. China introduced the world's first paper money during the Tang Dynasty. This was around 618 CE, over 1,000 years ago. Paper was easier to carry than heavy metal coins across long distances. European banks adopted paper notes much later in the 17th century. These early notes were promises. You could exchange them for gold. This system became known as the gold standard. Under the gold standard, each unit of currency represented a fixed amount of gold. Most nations abandoned the gold standard during the 20th century. Today we use what is called fiat currency. Fiat comes from the Latin word meaning "let it be done." Fiat money has value because the government declares it legal tender. You must accept it as payment for any debt by law. Money performs 3 essential functions in a modern economy. First, medium of exchange, making buying and selling simple. Second, unit of account, giving us a common measure for prices. Third, store of value, letting you preserve purchasing power over time. Welcome back to Money Basics. I am Alex Carter. In this segment, we cover income, expenses, and the art of budgeting. Understanding these 3 concepts will transform how you manage your money. Your income is every dollar that comes into your household. Income can come from a salary, wages, freelance work, or side businesses. It can also come from rental properties, dividends, or interest earnings. Gross income is your total earnings before any taxes or deductions. Net income is what lands in your bank account after taxes. Always budget based on net income. Gross income is not yours to spend. Expenses are all the money that flows out of your household. Economists divide expenses into 2 broad categories, fixed and variable. Fixed expenses stay the same every month. Think rent, loan payments, insurance. Variable expenses change month to month, like groceries or utility bills. There is a third category called discretionary expenses. These are wants, not needs, things like streaming subscriptions or dining out. Before you can budget, you must know exactly where your money goes. Track every single expense for at least 2 weeks before building a budget. You cannot improve what you do not measure. This rule applies to money too. The most widely recommended framework is called the 50-30-20 rule. It was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren in her personal finance book. 50% of your net income goes to needs. Needs are things you cannot safely live without. They include housing, utilities, food, transportation, and basic health care. 30% of your net income goes to wants. Wants make life enjoyable. Hobbies, restaurants, travel, and entertainment. 20% of your net income goes to savings and debt repayment. This 20% is the engine of your financial future. If your needs consistently exceed 50%, something must change. Consider finding a cheaper apartment, cooking more meals at home, or carpooling. Small reductions in spending add up dramatically over a full year. A budget is not a punishment. A budget is a plan. It means you decide in advance where every dollar goes. This practice is sometimes called zero-based budgeting, giving every dollar a job. Review your budget at the start and end of each month. At month end, compare planned versus actual spending in each category. Ask yourself, where did I overspend and why did it happen? With each cycle, your budgeting accuracy improves significantly. Many people use apps like YNAB, Mint, or a simple spreadsheet. The best budget system is the one you will actually use consistently. In the next segment, we explore saving habits and the magic of compound interest. This is segment 3 of Money Basics, and we are talking about saving. Saving money is the single most important habit in personal finance. Without a financial cushion, any unexpected expense becomes a major crisis. Let us start with the most critical first step, the emergency fund. An emergency fund is money set aside exclusively for genuine emergencies. Emergencies include sudden job loss, a large medical bill, or urgent repairs. Financial advisors say, start with a goal of $1,000. Even $1,000 prevents most common financial emergencies. Once you reach $1,000, build toward 3 months of living expenses. Your ultimate target is 3 to 6 months of all essential expenses. Keep your emergency fund in a savings account, separate from daily spending. It must be liquid, meaning you can access it within 1 to 2 days. Never invest emergency money in stocks or assets that can drop in value. Now let us talk about your saving rate. Your saving rate is the percentage of income you save each month. A 10% saving rate is a solid starting point for most people. As your income grows, try to increase your saving rate gradually. Even moving from 10% to 15% makes a huge long-term difference. The most reliable trick to save more is automation. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account every payday. The transfer happens before you have a chance to spend the money. This is called paying yourself first, and it is the most powerful saving habit. Now, I want to introduce you to the concept that changes everything. It is called compound interest, and it is the investor's greatest ally. Compound interest means you earn returns on your principal and on your gains too. Each period, your interest earns more interest. The growth accelerates over time. Here is a simple numerical example to make this concrete. You deposit $1,000 at 5% interest per year. After 1 year, you have $1,050. In year 2, the 5% applies to $1,050, not $1,000. Over 30 years, that $1,000 grows to over $4,000. This happens without adding any extra money after the first deposit. The key variable is time. Start early and let time work for you. A person who saves from age 25 ends up with far more than one who starts at 35. Even small amounts saved early outperform large amounts saved late. This is the compounding effect, and it rewards patience above all else. In our final segment, we cover the basics of banking. Understanding your bank account helps you keep more of what you earn. See you in segment 4. Welcome to the final segment of episode 1, Banking Basics. Understanding how banks work helps you avoid fees and earn more on savings. A bank is a financial institution that accepts deposits and makes loans. When you deposit money, the bank lends it to others and earns interest. In return, the bank pays you a small interest rate on your deposits. There are 2 fundamental types of bank accounts everyone should understand. The first type is a checking account designed for daily use. You use a checking account to receive your paycheck, pay bills, and shop. Most checking accounts come with a debit card linked to your balance. Checking accounts typically offer little to no interest. The second type is a savings account designed to hold money over time. Savings accounts pay higher interest than checking accounts. The interest rate on a savings account is expressed as APY. APY stands for annual percentage yield. APY tells you how much your total balance grows over 1 full year. Traditional brick-and-mortar banks often offer very low APY, near 0.01%. Online banks can offer high-yield savings accounts with APY above 4%. Moving savings to a high-yield account is one of the easiest financial wins. There is no catch. Your money is just as safe in an online bank. In the United States, the FDIC insures deposits up to $250,000. FDIC stands for Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. If your bank fails, the FDIC guarantees every dollar up to that limit. Always verify your bank is FDIC insured before depositing any money. Now let us talk about bank fees, because they quietly drain your money. Monthly maintenance fees are charged simply for having the account open. Many banks will waive the fee if you maintain a minimum balance. Overdraft fees are charged when you spend more than your available balance. Avoid overdrafts by setting low balance text alerts on your account. ATM fees can add up quickly if you use out-of-network machines frequently. Many online banks reimburse ATM fees, which is a significant perk. There are also accounts with absolutely no monthly fees and no minimum balance. These no-fee accounts are widely available at credit unions and online banks. A credit union is a member-owned financial cooperative with lower fees. Compare at least 3 banks before choosing where to keep your money. Look at APY, fees, ATM access, and the quality of the mobile app. That wraps up the 4 segments of episode 1 of Money Basics. We covered money history, budgeting, saving habits, and banking basics. Episode 2 will cover credit scores, credit cards, and managing debt wisely. Thank you for watching. I am Alex Carter, and I will see you next time.